Hey guys, welcome back to Dirk's Pneumophile and another project. This project is going to require us to go down the street to Mr. Peabody's house and convince him to put us in the Wayback Machine, and we're going to go all the way back to 1977 for this build. Why do you ask, am I going to 1977? It's not that the kit that we're building is from 1977, but what I'm looking for here is back in 1977, I was 10 years old, and at that time I was doing models. My friends were all doing models. My cousins were all doing models. It was our thing. We'd love to do it. We would buy a model, build it within a couple hours, take it outside, and play with it until it broke. We played our toys hard. There was no such thing as collector's items back in those days. Everything was just bought and played with hard. If it survived, it survived. If it didn't, oh well. It was just the way it was. But anyway, my goal of this, my challenge to myself, is to pick a kit and build it as I would have when I was in 1977. In other words, using all the things at my disposal from that period. Now, those that are from England, they had it real easy. They would go out and they would buy the Airfix starter kit, okay? The Airfix starter kit would be a model. It would come with between 4 and 6 pots of Humbrol paint. It would come with a paintbrush, and it would come with a little pot of glue. Everything you needed to build the kit. I don't remember those being around when I was a kid in the United States. They could have been. I'm not aware of it. For us, it was Monogram, AMT, Revell, and Matchbox kits. Okay, that's what was around. And to the best of my knowledge, there were no starter kits. If you wanted to buy a kit, you had to buy the kit, and then you had to go out and buy the glue, you had to buy the paint, you had to buy the brushes, everything. So my goal is to go back to that time. The kit's not necessarily, like I said, from 1977, but to that period, and do just that as if I was a kid and what I had available to me. So, excuse me. So that means today I went out to Hobby Lobby, and back in the day, the paints that we used were the tester's paints, the little glass jar paints, okay? That's what they mostly came in. The kits that we got then were like 10 or 12 jars of paint, which was fine. They're all the primary colors and so forth. But nowadays that paint is like $20 some odd. So that was a little bit more expensive than I wanted to spend on this because, well, I think tester's paint is pretty much, well, I'm not a fond fan of tester's paint. I didn't want to spend that much. But what I did find was this. Okay. This is just a starter kit of tester's paint with 6 colors, 6 basic colors, okay? Very much like the type of paint that you would find in the Airfix starter kits. So that, kind of puts me on par with that. So it's basic paints, it's acrylic paint, basic colors, okay? And it comes with a brush. So I bought that. The other thing that would have been available to me in 1977 were the brushes. So I got the Tester brushes because Testers was the brand of the time back then. So we had Testers brushes, which these brushes are horrible. I'm really getting myself into trouble by doing this, but these are horrible brushes. And the other thing that was available to us was the Testers paint. The other thing that was available to us was the glue. The good old-fashioned orange tub of Testors gel glue. Okay, and also I couldn't find an original one, but a hobby knife. Okay, I know it's not probably from 1977, but it's close enough. It's the one blade, one and done type thing, but you know, it's either this or I'd have to do like we did in those days where we just wobble the parts until they broke off the sprue and left gouges. I don't want to do that. I've got to give myself a little bit of an edge, so I'm going to use this. Basically, these are the only things I purchased in order to build this kit. The other things that I'm going to use, again, are things that were available in my house back in that time period. Okay, so we're not talking any special brushes, no special paints, no special tools, no airbrushes, nothing like that. Just the basics. And things that were available to me then. So one of the things that were available, toothpicks. My cousins taught me how to use toothpicks. I would never have known about it on my own. When I was doing it before I talked to them, strings everywhere because I was using the popping the top off, using this to touch it, and it would just put glue everywhere. And this was an innovative thing for me. Once I used this, it was a lot less strings, a lot less sticky, a lot less fingerprints on the airplane. So we're going to be able to use this. We're going to use some sandpaper. There wasn't a lot of sandpaper in most people's houses back then, but my father worked with wood, so there was always some strips of sandpaper around. So I took this old sandpaper, this wood type sandpaper, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use the nice auto sandpaper that I usually use with different grits. This is old and it should work. And basically, oh, one other thing I might use, I don't think I'm going to need it with this kit, but the other thing is there was no masking tape back then. There was no Testors tape back then. Well, if it was, it wasn't available to me. But what we would use is Scotch tape. So if I do any masking, it'll be with Scotch tape. Okay, so, but that's it. That's all we're going to use. No primers, nothing. Okay, just like we were kids in 1977. Now, the kit we're going to build, right here. We're going to build this, the Matchbox F4Fu for Corsair. Yeah, it's a cool kit. Matchboxes were big back in my day. I loved them. I really did. They were cool because they came in multiple colors, you know. So even if you didn't have paint, you could stick them together. They were colorful. They were bright. They were just fun to play with. So these are very nostalgic to me. Now, the other thing that's cool about the Matchbox kits, let me see here, get a part out for you. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but for a kit that came out in 1972, I think, 72, 73, it's all recessed panel lines. That is really cool. The crispness of these are really, really cool. Okay, so this kit is from 1972 or 73. I'm not sure which one, but I know it's in that time period because in 1974 it came out with a new box, which was the flip end where you'd open at the end. But this box here is just the pull-off box. Okay. If you've never ever seen these before, they're pretty cool because, again, the box art on these are just fantastic. Comes in 2 colors, okay? It's a 1/72 scale kit. The box art's just like really cool. It's got some other kits that are available on the side, okay? You got your Nat, you got your Mustang, you got your Hurricane, and you've got a F6A. Alright, some information on the box, what it's going to look like. And now when you open up the box too, oh, well, let's go to the back side. It gives you your color palette, what you're going to do for your decals and stuff like that. Okay, pretty cool, nice and colorful. But what's cool too is even on the inside of the box, there's more details and data, okay, about the base, how to mount it on a base, some more instructions about working with the engine, the propeller, blah blah blah. It gives you color call out so you can paint it. Pretty cool. Inside, I'm not going to get into a whole big review of it because they're out there, you can find it. But there's the wings, again nicely detailed with recessed panel lines. Fuselage, again nicely detailed recessed panel lines. Again, for a kid of this age, these are really cool, really cool. You got that big ass prop there. The canopy. The stand is in clear, so it's kind of like invisible. You got your instruction booklet. Okay. Which the instructions, 8 steps to completion, nothing major. Some hot hints for it. And again, the decals. Now, the decals worry me because they're old, but I might be able to get away with using these decals. I really hope they do, because I like the livery, and the whole thing is using what's in the box. So hopefully these decals don't let me down. So that's what we're doing. So basically, we're doing a lot of people call them the starter kit challenge. Well, this isn't really a starter kit. It doesn't come with all the parts and pieces. I have to get those externally, but it is nostalgic, built when I was a kid type thing, and that's what we're going for. So I don't know, the way back build, I don't know, but anyway, this is what we're going to do. And I also throw out there a challenge to anybody else that wants to do something like this. Maybe you got some kits in your stash that would qualify. Some of the old starter kit from Airfix or something like that, and you want to join in. It would be a lot of fun if you did. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So stay tuned, and we're gonna kick this off.